Well, for ages we have looked at what is the message. And we have gone through our gurus and swamis and imams and rabbis and teachers and priests and shamans and yogis and sadhus and shamans and curanderos and tell me what's the message. And in a very narcissistic way we want our message. And that's not so narcissistic if we look at the uniqueness of who we are. Of course we have our message. But I'm sorry to say our message is inscribed in our genes. Our individual, your individual, my individual message is the conglomerate of a function of your mother's and your father's genetic code, which in resonance produces you. And you are unique. There is no one else but you. There is no one else, was no one else, not even your Siamese twin is like you, because the momentum in which that spin takes place is you, is unique. So, instead of asking out there, we can ask in here. Now, how do we read the DNA? Well, somebody read it for us at the beginning of this year 2000, middle of the year 2000, the decoding of the DNA of the desoxyribonucleic acid was done. And what did we find out? We found out that the reading of the function of our human biocomputer is complete. So, inshallah, in 60 years, we will do genetic engineering, we'll get rid of certain chronic diseases, we will be able to prevent the breast cancer and schizophrenia and depression, and we will be able to manipulate the genes and live longer. So what? We'll live longer. With what purpose? With what idea? So I began to think that if there is a physical DNA, there must be in the dimensions that we live. We do not just live in the third dimension, we live metadimensionality. We live in the dream state, not in the third dimension. We live in a fourth dimension. We live in a love state in a fourth dimension. We live in a unified field, fifth dimension. So there must be DNA operating in many dimensions of reality. So in the other dimensions of reality, the message that we're looking for psychologically, philosophically, spiritually, metaphysically is also there and is also unique for each vibrational field. And why don't we read it? Well, first of all, it cannot be read in a laboratory. It cannot be read by the analysis of cytosine, adenine, thymine, and guanine. It cannot be read by the amino acids that forms a sequence. It can be read when we solve the introspection of what is stopping us. And there is a commandment in the 10 Commandments of Moses that is very interesting. There are 5 commands which are civil. Don't steal, don't lie, don't covet your neighbor's wife, social rules. And there are 4 commandments which are divine. And it's the 5th commandment, which is a lock. It's between the civil and within the divine. And it has to do with honor your mother and father. Why honor your mother and father? Why is it in between the divine and the human? Why is it not on the human side? Why is it not on the divine side? Why is it in between? Because it has a second part. Honor your mother and father so that your days are long and healthy. And where does your mother and father reside? In your DNA. Once the DNA is balanced, you have access from the social civil to the divine, from the divine to the social civil, and the balance of the two worlds. And where is the balance of the two worlds? Within inside each cell. It's not happening in one cell, it's happening in every single cell. So inside of us, it's vibrating constantly the message. We have to read the light language of the soul. And actually, here in Turkey, today, I was talking to one person that consulted me individually, and I was delighted to hear how this beautiful human being, an engineer, in her experience, has accessed her DNA with images of vibrational fields of light in which she enters and leaves this physical body and goes to dimensions and dimensions and dimensions that she doesn't know how to interpret, and at a certain point knows how to interpret. Doesn't have the social permission, but once given the social permission, knows exactly she's in this body to have a mission of giving, of loving, of changing, of transformation, of enlightenment, of making this world a better place. And everything I was saying the other day in a seminar, she has been experiencing.
Wow.
Wow, I know.
New question?
Um,
Or what do you think?
yeah, I think it's great. It's going great.